Next here on News 4 at 5, everything you need to know about the strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll have the latest coming up.
Plus, day 2 for the search of a missing California man last seen here in Western New York. The new details we're learning about his disappearance and why crews were led to Zor Valley.
And a North Tonawanda woman comes face to face with a suspected burglar in her backyard. We'll tell you how police were able to catch him and the bizarre story he told. News 4 at 5 starts right now.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 5.
And we begin at 5 with several forewarned weather alerts. All eyes are on the weather right now as potentially severe storms roll through parts of Western New York. Good evening, I'm Jackie Walker.
And I'm Don Postos. A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect right now, along with a wind advisory and a high wind warning. And power outages are quickly growing all across Western New York. Our chief meteorologist, Todd Santos, is here. He's tracking which areas are getting hit right now and what the extent of the damage could be. Todd?
Well, that's one thing we're going to have to keep a close eye on. Right now, I've already seen over 37,000 power outages across Western New York. That's households without power right now. And a lot of them are actually centered even here, areas to the north where you haven't seen much in the way of thunderstorms. This is the severe thunderstorm watch. It goes until 9 p.m., but notice it includes areas into the Finger Lakes. For us, across all of our viewing area, I'd say by 7 to 8 o'clock, the threat is really diminished significantly. Now, we are getting a little bit of lake shadowing, so that is helping out for our northern counties, but we're still dealing with the strong wind gusts there. We've had gusts along the Niagara Peninsula over 60 miles per hour. Actually, there was one to 78 miles per hour in Hamilton. So we'll get to that piece, but this is the actual line of thunderstorms screaming across. I mean, they're moving over 60 miles per hour. So it doesn't take very much. If that lets just a little bit of breeze out of the bottom, gust front, you end up with 60-plus mile per hour gusts. This one for McKean County, this warning is basically for that. And I don't know why the warning's not actually popping up on there. There it should go. As far as the time frame's concerned, but this is for McKean County, basically everywhere along and pretty soon east of the 219, but down towards Kane, that is just rolling into your area. This one goes until 6 p.m. and it's more the orientation of these storms as they work their way across, but the speed of the storms and the wind gust potential is really the greatest threat there as it works its way to the eastern half of the county. We had a pretty strong storm in Genesee County. That one has moved on. So around South Buffalo, we still have at least some rain, but it's not really much in the way of thunderstorm activity. And I think we're kind of going to see the threat there to our northwest diminishing. Now, the piece that continues is the wind. We have to fully get the cold front across the area. So to the north, our northern counties under a high wind warning, our southern counties under a wind advisory. The difference between these is gusts to 60 miles per hour possible and gusts to 50 miles per hour possible. That's the only difference. So it's windy for the short term for all areas. These are the gusts just within the last hour. So you get the idea. And you see Hamilton, 67 miles per hour. So don't let your guard down out here, especially on elevated roadways. But this is likely the issue with the power outages, just those gusts. And I'll show you this briefly. There's 5 p.m. in the model. Watch this. Once we get to 6, 7 o'clock, all that activity focuses east of our area. And while tornadoes are not totally out of the question, the better focus for those will be in the far upstate region, up in the Adirondacks region. And there's a look at temperatures right now. So we're tapping into the humidity. We're tapping into the temperatures. We're using a cold front to drive all this. So we'll have more on the thunderstorms coming up, but at least for tonight, it will be settling down, and the start of the weekend looks beautiful. Don, Jackie?
Thank you, Todd. You can see live Doppler radar and the forecast updates anytime, anywhere. Just download the Forewarned Weather app. It is free, and you can get it for any mobile device.
Through investigation, we determined that it was a good probability that he may be in the southern tier area, Springville, the Zor Valley area.
The search for a missing California man has wrapped up for the night. Rudy Ray Rockett Sr. was last seen in Niagara County on Sunday night.
And News 4's Kelsey Anderson tells us why crews were led to the Zor Valley area. Kelsey?
That search for Rudy Ray Rockett ended about an hour ago. Rockett's stepson, Gregory Roy, remains behind bars on a weapons charge. We are getting the first look at his mugshot right now, and I am just learning from the Niagara County Undersheriff, Roy's bail has been revoked, and he is now undergoing a mental evaluation. Well, I'm going to walk you through now what we know about this investigation and the night Rockett went missing. The Niagara County Undersheriff says Rockett left his cottage on Lake Road in Ransomville Sunday night. He was supposed to catch a flight to California, back to California where he lives, at 6:30 p.m. But Rockett never made it on that plane. Rockett's son says his stepbrother Gregory was driving their dad to the airport. The undersheriff would not say how long Rockett's stepson and Rockett were in the car together that night, but by Monday, Rockett's wife got worried something was wrong and called police.
He normally would send her a text letting her know that he was getting on the flight. She never received one, and then she didn't receive anything else. She went to bed, and by the next day, she started to get worried, and then started to investigate, look around, and found some disturbing things, and they called the police.
That's Rockett's biological son. A search for Rockett then ensued Monday afternoon. That search took place in the area of Springville in Zoar Valley. The undersheriff says crews were led to that area by cell phone technologies. He would not elaborate any further than that. The undersheriff still asks anyone who may have seen a gray 2006 Saab in the area of Springville or Zoar Valley Sunday night to please give them a call. That vehicle is in police custody, and the one behind me is not that vehicle. It's one that looks like it. They want to be clear, it's in police custody. They are not looking for the car. They just ask if anyone has seen the vehicle again on Sunday night. In the newsroom, Kelsey Anderson, News 4 at 5.
What happened yesterday, you can call it an isolated incident, you can call it anything you like, but it was very scary.
A North Tonawanda man is facing felony charges tonight after police say he tried to break into a home using a shovel. Now, this happened around noon yesterday on Plymouth Avenue in the city of Tonawanda.
The homeowner, a mother of two, was gardening in her backyard when the suspect jumped her fence. News 4's Marissa Perlman talked to her and her neighbors, who are grateful that police acted quickly. Marissa?
Well, 34-year-old Timothy DeWald is now facing a laundry list of charges tonight, including attempted burglary and resisting arrest. Police say he was high on amphetamines and barbiturates when he tried to break into the McGinty family home.
I was just sick. Something like this could happen in my own neighborhood.
Bob Starr has lived down the street from Amy McGinty and her family for decades. He calls Plymouth Avenue quiet. He never expected to run into an attempted burglary in broad daylight.
And I saw this whole thing unfold and unravel, and it was just like, holy cats.
Police say Thursday afternoon, DeWald hopped the fence while McGinty was in her outside garden.
And all of a sudden, this strange man who she didn't know appeared at her fence and making gyrations and not making sense of what he was saying, and which got her scared.
McGinty, who didn't want to speak on camera, ran inside to get her husband and one-year-old child. They then called 911. That's when DeWald started banging on their back door with a shovel and started rambling.
At one point, he thought he was in Los Angeles. At one point, he says he's doing this for a game show.
Once police got here, DeWald took off towards their front yard.
They took him down like a free safety taking down a wide receiver over the middle. It was a thing of beauty.
He was arrested, and police say so impaired they took him to an area hospital for treatment.
We live in a pill society now. We live in a pill population now. And, there's no boundaries on this.
Police still don't know how DeWald, who lives on the border of Wheatfield, got to the McGinty home or what his intentions were.
This is so uncharacteristic for this to happen on this street, let alone these fine people.
Keep your eyes and ears open at all times. You never, ever know what's going on in the next yard.
Again, DeWald is facing a felony charge and 5 misdemeanors. Once he's out of the hospital, we expect to learn more. Marissa Perlman, News 4 at 5.
A Buffalo man accused of stealing Buffalo Bishop Richard Malone's car has now admitted to that crime and others.
20-year-old Joshua Hobbs pleaded guilty to several charges, including grand larceny and identity theft. The Erie County District Attorney's Office says Bishop Malone's home on Oakwood Place was broken into back in January. His coat was taken with his car keys inside his pocket. The bishop's credit cards were also stolen. The DA say Hobbs took advantage of those stolen cards. Well, he was later arrested in Rochester. He was caught driving the bishop's car. Hobbs also pleaded guilty to stealing other vehicles last fall around Western New York, including an Erie County Sheriff's deputy's SUV.
Police in Lancaster are asking your help tonight in finding the person shown in this video. You can see him opening the car door and taking items out. Police say this person may be connected to recent car break-ins in the area of Panora Street in Depew. If you think you know who this is, you are asked to call the Lancaster Police Detectives. The number is 683-3120. Well, straight ahead in 2 minutes, protecting human trafficking survivors. Hear what could change for victims who are forced to testify in court.
And you're looking at live Doppler radar. There it is. We're following some potentially severe weather rolling through Western New York right now. And our chief meteorologist, Todd Santos, he's here. He'll give us an update in just a bit. Stay with us.